In Texas today, 2 men who were caught having sex together in the privacy of a house pleaded no contest to state sodomy charges. But their fight against Texas's seldom enforced 119-year-old law against gay sex is just beginning. On the other hand, there are Christian groups here in South Florida that say gays can be cured as if they suffer from some sort of sickness. Ben Mankiewicz has that story for you.
Sexuality became an addiction to me.
I do not consider myself gay.
There's hope for change.
Paul Osterman, Les Michael, and Richard Culbertson are part of a new subculture, the un-gay. Men and women who say they are former homosexuals who've straightened out their lives.
I know I've changed. I'm not the same person I was back in 1980, believe me.
You consider yourself a heterosexual?
Definitely, most definitely. A celibate heterosexual.
Truth is, each of these men is celibate. Richard for 19 years, Les for 12, Paul for 11. Their alternative to having gay sex is to have no sex at all.
I mean, any kind of sex outside of marriage, as far as God's concerned, is sin.
And I'm a Christian, and Christians don't go sleeping around.
For Richard, Paul, and Les, leaving the gay lifestyle meant turning to God and to Exodus International, a network of more than 80 Christian ministries that counsels homosexuals on how to, quite literally, stop being gay.
When I tell somebody that I don't have a sexual attraction towards men anymore, that they can either believe me or not. But I can also say to them that there are thousands of others just like me, men and women, that can say exactly the same thing.
As executive director of Worthy Creations, the South Florida Ministry for Exodus, Richard has counseled many of those men and women. But exactly how many there are is unclear. Exodus claims thousands, but keeps no specific figures on how many people have converted or on how many converts have switched back.
I mean, I'm heterosexual. I cannot become a lesbian.
Carol Benowitz's son is gay, and she's proud. Carol runs a South Florida chapter of PFLAG, Parents and Friends of Lesbians and Gays. She says any suggestion her son and others like him can change is dangerous.
When someone is told that they can be changed, that they don't have to be a homosexual, they become very depressed, isolated, may attempt suicide.
Is this a deviant lifestyle? Yes, I most definitely believe that it is.
Despite the rhetoric, conversion therapists like Richard say they are sensitive and compassionate to homosexuals. But most gays remain hostile toward Exodus for even suggesting there is something wrong with the way they lead their lives.
Here you have a hypocritical movement that says, we're going to change you, but you know what, there's nothing wrong with you to begin with.
Exodus has been delivering its gays can change message in relative obscurity since the late 70s.
There is freedom for those struggling with homosexuality.
That changed this summer when the organization launched a print and TV ad campaign featuring former gays urging others to convert. The stars of the ads were Ann and John Pauk, ex-homosexuals who married each other.
I said, God, I don't know how in the world you are going to get me out of homosexuality.
The Pauks are clearly the exception. Marriage is unlikely for the three men we spoke with, but Richard says at 60, living alone and living celibate is clearly preferable to the gay life.
You get up to 55, 60 years old, and nobody wants you, and the only way you're going to get anybody is by shelling out the bucks. It's like this is a lifestyle that somebody should be promoting? I'm sorry, I disagree. I wholeheartedly disagree.
Les says he'll stay celibate until he finds a wife. So will Paul, who recently, and perhaps symbolically, painted his pink house blue, though he concedes he may be in denial.
No, I still am tempted homosexually. It's not gone away. Those yearnings and longings for male sex like that is still there.
But like the others, he relies on his faith to beat back those yearnings, while preaching to others that change is possible.
I'm not out to make people change. I'm just out to let people know that if they want to, and they really hate being what they are, that I'm here for them.
The question is, are there really many gays who want to be changed? Exodus believes there are, sending converts like Richard, Les, and Paul into communities to proclaim, we're here, we're no longer queer, get used to it. Much of the debate concerning conversion therapy centers around the question, are people born gay? Both sides have strong opinions, but the fact is the scientific evidence is simply inconclusive. Amy?